was surprised you actually brought up Powers getting the torque, but that was pretty good. Yeah, Powers did get that.
Ya empezaron.
Of what happened. We'll find out very shortly. We are back into the game.
No.
Looks like a live round. Everybody is moving, and immediately you do see Demise threatening to go onto that flank. Identitas, though, keeping.
La verga, qué putazotes de Exploits.
Demise will sneak through, and he will find Identitas still in front of him. Crack is going to get the down onto Demon. But
Ok, 3v3 en la pelea. DC salió bien. Oh, oh. Y Enero la está jugando mejor.
New look eUnited, ladies and gentlemen, winning that initial. Powers getting that turbo again. On a pre-facing it before we backed out last time. That's one player spotted out. Identiv's not over peaking. Frag grenades getting picked up. Rebel need an answer back here.
Big Wambi. No, la verga, Dani lo mató. Power se rifó con el arco. O sea, lo que se está viendo aún, eUnited está tranquilo, güey, está ganando las peleas que debe ganar. Tiene que ganar este retake 100% Rebel, 4v2. A la verga. ¡A la verga! ¡A la verga! ¡Qué leyenda, güey! ¡Qué leyendota, güey!
I was just kind of looking at the minimap and see that these are the guys they need to attack on the side of eUnited because rotation for the team draining out that hill. Now they have a two-man Rebel. You see they're not advancing forward. They want to keep themselves in that blender. They want to get themselves out, let their teammates spawn up so they can work as a full-on team. And once they do, see them try to maneuver into the mid, even towards that out.
Se están tardando diría que están tardando un poco, no mucho, pero Rebel está tardando un poco en hacer los retakes. Y esto eUnited lo va a aprovechar 100%, güey. Este mapa es hacer las cosas rápido, si no te tardas, te comen el tiempo, güey. Porque está muy chiquito. Aunque los mates, güey, esos güeyes en corto van a hacer un retake, ¿sabes? Oh, pero lo están haciendo perfecto. Vamos a ver, Power su play. Ah, la verga. No. Power está matando a todos, güey. ¿Qué está pasando? Ah, la verga, Crack se rifó. Buena de Crack ahí, A Chile Power se estaba convirtiendo en leyendota, güey. A la verga. Dani también lo veo jugando bien, Y Dani jugando bien también da miedo, A la verga, qué putazote, güey. Mátalo, papi.
Or they can begin to kind of maneuver over. Crack's going to be the only one scoring it, while the rest of the team is beginning to try to move out. Identiv's already in the positioning. Demon is there to flex and rotate.
Están dando sus tiros, es lo que me está gustando de Rebel, Los veo hitting shot. Ah, estaba escondido Powers. A mí me mató uno. ¡Oh! Demon. Big Wambi, Dani ahí. Big Wambi contra TJ. Dani está jugando bien, bro. Está rotando como DVD. Y me gusta su personaje. ¿Tiene dos stuns? Ese stun lo puedo haber lanzado del otro lado, no hay pedo. Sácalo, juntos. Ah, no. ¿Por qué estaban haciendo eso? O el heal es ahí, yo pensé que el heal era enfrente, güey. No sé por qué estaban pushando entonces. Estuvo mal Cal, no sé quién se tiró ese Cal de pushar, pero estuvo mal. Even so, the Crack is going to give it a good attempt, taking down Powers, but nowhere to go. Look at how many shots. Y eUnited está rifando. Esas cositas cambian muchos puntos, bro. Está metiendo presión hasta adelante. They have no choice. That's where they spawned up. They got to give it a good go here, and or excuse me, Rebel does. My apologies, but again, they're going to be taking a lot of damage, but it looks as if they're set up. Now they just got to push forward.
Yeah. Nice cross from Exploits, but he has to be careful not to take too much damage himself. Está tardando mucho Rebel en hacer un push, bro. Es un chingo. Eso lo tenían que haber hecho luego que llegaron. Porque de todos modos, aunque ganen esas peleas, bro, si se dan cuenta, ahí eUnited se chingó como 30 puntos también, güey. ¿Saben? Pero lo hicieron bien, tampoco no lo están haciendo mal los de Rebel. O sea, al menos se están tardando y lo están ganando. Si se tardaran y aún así la perdieran, estaría de la verga. Only 10 seconds left there. There'll be no benefit.
No benefit indeed. Torque bow picked up from Demise, so he'll have that for the time being.
Solo ayuda en el heal. TJ tiene que hacer tiempo, matar a uno. Si mata a uno es... ¡A la verga! ¡A la verga! ¡A la verga! ¡A la verga! ¿Qué poco con esos vaqueros, güey? Tiene que pararlo. ¡Oh! No, güey, Demise no da una con el arco, güey. Quítenle esa madre, por favor, güey. TJ se rifó pasado de verga sacando esa kill, güey.
So far, it seems that both of these teams are working hard in the off split. Kind of come and have a debut match, and honestly, what a big debut match for both of these teams.
Qué buena kill, al menos sacó una kill. Está parejo, está parejo el match, güey. Power se está haciendo cagada, güey. No sé qué pedo, Power está matando un chingo a los de Rebel. Demon no tenía que haber hecho eso. Están yendo next. Esto es súper bien para eUnited, bros. Porque están ganando un chingo de puntos y no está tan difícil sacarle aquí los retakes. Pero vamos a ver qué tan bien defiende Rebel, güey. Ahora les ganaron la rotación aún así, güey. Ah, la verga, falló el tiro. Oh, güey, qué leyenda, güey. Rebel está jugando. eUnited se ve mucho más rápido que Rebel en las rotaciones, güey. Y en los retakes, ¿saben? Powers no sé qué pedo, güey. Está haciendo cagar a todos.
Powers really, leaving off where he left off during the major, having those incredible moments. Powers is a guy, when he is playing on point, he is literally the best in the world.
Yeah, he really is. And honestly, I almost got to rank him as the best player in Gears Esports right now, but I'm not going to do that officially on this.
Ese mapa no es muy bueno Rebel. A mí se me hacen muy buenos Rebels en ese mapa, güey, porque pelean como mucho y porque Crack se rifa con el arco, güey. Solo que no ha tenido el arco, ahorita tiene arco, a ver si se rifa, güey. Uf, les digo, güey, este güey se rifa con el arco, güey. A la verga. Les digo, güey, que creo que neta sí se rifa con el arco, güey. Pero ahorita no lo había tenido toda la partida hasta ahorita. Pero estuvo bueno, estuvo bien ese retake que hicieron.
Either way, Torquebow, Crack has it, and I want to say it's one of the few times that Rebel has had the Torquebow in their hands. Most of the time it's been eUnited. Crack though only has 2 more, does send the active in. I'm curious if that will be able to connect, but regardless, though with 10 seconds, still plenty of time to think about how you want to break this next setup. And obviously for Rebel, they're the ones thinking about it because eUnited are already on the new hill.
Yo voy muy bien dicen los scrims. Sí estaba jugando bien. La verdad que esos güeyes estaban jugando bien en los scrims. Aguantó bien eUnited, y Rebel tenía que tomarse más el tiempo. Oh, oh. Oh, tiene una nade, güey. Oh, qué leyenda Dani, güey. Literal Dani ahí hizo todo, güey, literal. Qué leyenda Dani, qué leyendota, güey. Eso cagada, dicen ese Wambi, güey. Dani está dando todos sus peles, bro, los chile. También les digo que cuando Dani está jugando Focus, güey, también Dani da miedo, ¿Dani? Pasan a Dani, papis con el arco, papis. Ahí está. Está parejón, güey, les digo, güey, iba a estar parejo, güey. Yo digo que gana 3-2 Rebel, pero veamos qué pasa. Está parejo, güey, literal. Parejos en puntos, güey. Y tienen arco para hacer el retake. Dani se tiene que rifar con ese arco, güey, literal. Si pica uno, güey. No me está gustando esto que estoy viendo. Sí, mejor vete por allá, no, mi papi. Ese me gusta, ese me gusta. Casi, güey. Hay que esperar a que se tiempe. Oh, no, se cayó. No, alguien párelo. Bueno, ahí está parando Dani. Y no sé cómo ganaron enfrente. Exploit se rifó. No, Diz. No. Mátalos, mátalos a los dos, chinga su madre. No los mató. Ah. Dani. ¿Qué está pasando, güey? Están flanqueando, les enseñaron por atrás. Tiene que matar a Power, sí. Sí. Oh, la verga, está parejo, güey, está bueno. Por V3, güey. Pero está aguantando bien eUnited. A la verga, crack. A la verga, crack. Oh, lo están rodeando. No se han dado cuenta, no se han dado cuenta. Tú y tú. ¿Qué está pasando, güey? 2v1. Le salieron atrás. Güey, ¿qué está pasando, güey? Estamos en lo mismo de hace rato, güey. Le están flanqueando a Powers otra vez. Está pasando lo mismo, güey. Ah, la verga, güey. Qué leyenda, güey. Qué leyenda, cabrón. Ah, la verga, también dice rifó ahí, güey. Oh, se rifó crack en salirse. Tienen que pararlo. Tienen que ayudarlo. Big Wambi. A la verga, Dani trae de perra, dice, al chile. Virga, güey, está bueno, güey. Está bueno el match, Están en unos putazotes. This is a matchup you would expect to see on the final day of Pro League, right? Or even in a major, but we're getting it on literally our second series. Power se está rifando, güey, hasta con las nades, güey. Dos veces que mata dos con las nades. Crack, no tienes que esperar con ese arco. Corre. Oh. Güey, es que, güey, Power se está pasando de verga este match, güey. Neta, o sea, está pushando mucho, güey. Güey, ya va 23-9, güey. O sea, está jugando muy agresivo, güey.
Thank you. Thank you. Me and Powers had a talk. I told him, you want to win this game, use that funky monkey skin on either one of your weapons, and he is just going off. 23 eliminations. Dyslexic gets that down. Nobody able to clean it up. Identiv is being a distraction, but he finally goes down. Crack was revived for just a few seconds, but everybody eUnited, they're trying to play that team game, rotating around, trying to stick close together.
Damn, ya le están dando la vuelta, güey, los de... Oh, 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 a la verga, le hizo cagada, güey. Qué leyenda, güey, qué leyenda Big, güey. Hizo cagada Diz, güey.
Next battle, like you said, eUnited just with a little bit of a lead. Rebel, though, right behind them. They can still go any way possible. Very, very close.
Siento que Demon está jugando un poco safe, güey. Me gustaría que Demon jugara un poco más agresivo, güey. Nunca lo he visto hacer como un push bien, ¿saben? Ahí podía haber jugado más agresivo cuando hizo el down contra Diz, güey. Tiene arco Powers. I know. Ya vale verga. ¿Sí tiene arco? O... Ya vale verga. Ya vale verga, bros. Tiene toda la posición para hacer plays, güey. Los de Rebel ya están jugando desesperados. Están haciendo malos push, güey. Ese push que están haciendo... Es crack, no sé por qué fue por ahí, güey. Ah, la verga. Sí. Power está matando a todos, güey. Literal, Power está matando a todos, güey. Esa madre está... ¡Ey, gorda! Esta princesa sabe que Power está rifando, güey. ¿Qué pasa que digo Power y ladró?
I talked about the 30 bomb. He didn't get it, actually. He got 29. Who stole that kill from him? He needed the 30 bomb and he got robbed.
That TJ, I think it was TJ. Shame on you, TJ.
Come on, TJ.
Go kill TJ. Get your 30 bomb anyway.
No, you can't. Hey, and look at that. He's letting them know, too, what he thought about the competition.
Increíble.
Job from eUnited. That's going to be
O sea, ese mapa lo ganó Power.
in their, at least in their corner, 300 to 210. And Powers, look at the stats on this guy. 29, 10 deaths, 22k damage done. And people are still questioning if he's one of the best in the world.
It's crazy. His dyslexic debut. And we ain't even talking about him. Powers,
I know,
continuing to take over Gears.
I think he's okay with that, though.
I think the only player I feel like we're saying their name as much isn't even in this matchup. It is a cell. So Powers just dominating again. Honestly, I need to see some end of season reward, end of a split reward, something, because Powers is gonna have them all.
I think Powers might. Definitely the standout game, one of the best performances we have seen right now.
Que está pasado de
In
verga,
terms of MVP this week, hey, it could either be a Vexies or right now it's looking like Powers, at least off of map number 1 with how well they were playing. But we talked about how scary United's going to be in the slaying category. Well, it's because of Powers, dyslexic. I mean, TJ, you got over there. Demise, you know, holding his ground as well. These guys are looking scary.
Entonces, voy a dar la predicción, bros.
Imagine dyslexic and Powers.
Ganó United, como el 57% de la gente dijo. El primer mapa.
Just running up. Oh, let me just get out of there. Just turn and just about face there, just at a moment's notice. But honestly, you gotta give it up to Rebel though, because that was relatively close throughout the majority of that matchup. But just to me, it shows those inconsistencies are still there when their backs up against the wall in those tight moments. They're either going to rise to the occasion or fall flat to the another. And this time around, I think they just fell flat yet again. There was that moment in time where Powers and the rest of United just didn't lose team fights.
Well, you know, a guy that we always say the name of, he has his own time, right? It's Demon time. You know, he's a guy that you expect to be slaying out. When we talk about the slaying power on
Ahí se rifó
Rebel,
Powers, güey. Pasó de verga.
obviously Demon is pretty much at the top of the food chain. You know, he really is. But in this game, or at least in map number 1 here on
Ahí se
Ritual,
rifó.
he had 6 kills,
Qué
9
pedo con
assists.
Pi, güey.
They had 15 deaths. He did not play at the caliber that you expect him to be at. Now, his damage was respectable. He had 13,000 damage, but even that was at the bottom. And even the OBJ kills, he was in last place with 2. Kraken Exploits had 3, and then Identities had 6.
Siento les digo, güey, en este mapa, en este match, faltó de Rebel que jugar un poco agresivo Demon, lo vi, y que tuviera más las Power Weapons, güey. Casi siempre todo el tiempo tenían nades y United, y casi todo el tiempo tenían nades, arco y United. O sea, muy pocas veces lo vi a Rebel con el arco.
You could put a lot of blame onto him. You could say, wow, you know, Demon really dropped the ball there. It's not all him, but if Demon was playing even half of what Powers was doing, maybe Rebel would have had a closer ending than that 300 to 210.
I gotta ask you one question here, and you can go ahead and say it's too soon to tell, and I'll give it to you this week. Next week, and I won't be that nice, so use it while you can. Is Rebel missing summons yet?
You know, summons.
One map. It's one map. So, like I said,
it's
go
one
ahead.
Map, yeah.
One map.
You know, Exploits is. I love Exploits.
Lo que dijo Jacob ayer era que si Rebel extraña a Alex. O sea, solo viendo el primer mapa. Esa fue como la pregunta.
Like Exploits has always been a guy you have to take serious, especially with the power weapon or sniper in his hand. Like, he's incredible. But Summons was also incredible too, you know, and Hoodie Summons was a
67% dice que el segundo mapa lo gana United y el 33% Rebel. Okay.
It's the same thing with Bronny, who's replacing Precision, right? There are certain players, and even Dyslexic, who's replacing Kenny. But Summons is a guy that I am sad to see go from this Rebel roster, because his impact was great. It really, really was. And I think Rebel is feeling that. I do. I think Rebel is feeling that. Summons was on the roster for you know, quite some time. It's going to take some adjustment. It really is. But Exploits is a guy that I think, you know, he's going to do fairly well. He did well. I mean,
dropearon a Summons, bro. Tú sabes,
lo
dropearon. O sea, lo cambiaron por
but yeah, I think Rebel is hurting without Summons.
Por Exploit.
Then again, it was only day 1. It's only, you know, their first series in Gears Pro League, so I really don't know. And like you said,
estuvo bueno, güey. Estuvo bueno ese match, estuvo parejo. Llegó un momento que tenían 180 puntos los dos, me parece. Y después de ahí United empezó a rifarse más, a hacer mejores rocks y a ganar más peleas. Pero estaba parejo, hasta ahí estaba parejo. nunca vimos a Rebel como ganar, ¿sabes? O sea, Rebel estaba como ahí, pero nunca lo vemos arriba, güey. Y United había varias veces en el match que estaba arriba. O sea, Rebel como que se emparejaba nada más.
I think Identives joined the roster, and I wouldn't put it all on Identives because he was put into that weird position and getting let go of PK as well. But I've just kind of given you the time frame of when kind of things happened, and he, when he joined the roster, they got better. It's just they were inconsistently better.
Yeah, you know, Rebel's a team that. Rebel's a team that I want to see do well. I've always wanted to see them do well, and they do. You know, come major time, Pro League is hit or miss. It just really depends. After all, we did see that Rebel roster beat KCP last split during Pro League, you know, and that was one of the best performances I have literally seen from them. When they brought that energy during the major, kind of fizzled out a little bit, but still they brought it.
Estaba bueno el match, bro. Me gustó este match. Estuvo bueno. Ya empezó el segundo, es Tumba. Tumba los dos lo juegan bien, güey. La neta no sabría quién gana Tumba, güey. Siento que igual va a estar parejo, pero si está con Momentum y United creo que los van a hacer cagada.
Has been through the ringer in a sense where he knows too many situations, he knows what to do in those too many situations. I think Exploits with a lack of some of that experience, especially it being championship experience, I think he's still going to go through a lot of trial and errors that someone's already went through. But like I said, I think these guys play a very, very similar role to their team. So if Rebel is able to find that stride, like I said, I want to see them find that stride. We can see a very, very dominant Rebel squad. They just have to be able to find it. Great flash.
Hola, verga.
Team down coming through.
Hola, verga, Powers, güey.
Makes up for it, taking out Exploits and putting the advantage back into the favor.
Powers se sigue rifando.
Another one over the top, keeping it under their control.
Wow, yeah, excellent job. You know, it's kind of like, again, going back to Rise when they were playing against Team Queso on this very map. Mistakes are being, you know, maybe a mistake here or there, or maybe an unfortunate circumstance.
A la verga, pensé que se le iba a pegar, güey, por un segundo.
You have a player who steps up and turns it around. Nice shot from Powers. And speaking of
Inga, tú, es que Powers está rifando, güey. Chance es la noche de Powers, güey.
You know, in a tough spot, Powers manages to bring eUnited back into the saddle. 3 kills.
Mató a los 3, güey. Y ya se había rifado. O sea, mató 4, güey. Hasta tiró a TJ a la verga. Está rifando, güey, la neta.
Kind of go around whether he wants to play towards the middle, collapse on the lower half of the map, continue play aggressive with.
Si se dan cuenta como que Power siempre se rifa contra Rebel, güey. No sé por qué.
Bouncing back, trading shots with Identives, which is big. TJ though lands himself first blood onto Exploits. Power sees that as a green light and he just goes swarming target after target to take back-to-back rounds.
Rebel está jugando muy vergueros. Y pues güey, ya se dieron cuenta en el match pasado que Power está rifando, güey. O sea, tienen que hacer otra cosa, güey. No pueden jugarle así a la pelea a Power ahorita en estos momentos.
Is definitely giving value to eUnited as you expect. And I passed the question to you with Dyslexic joining and Kenny being absent. Does Powers feel more justified to be just as aggressive, even more aggressive than before?
I think they just need to find their stride. And yes, he's just
gonna
look,
literal.
Building what could be similar to that KCP roster where
Creo
everyone
que Diz no ha tenido ni que hacer nada, güey. Está haciendo lo suyo, güey, ¿saben? O sea, no está haciendo de más, está haciendo lo suyo.
4v2, Identives has to connect with his torque bow, and he does. Might have been splash damage onto TJ. Lands another one, or seemingly so. He gets shut down. Demon tried to take advantage of the splash damage, but he gets shut down as well. 3 straight rounds for eUnited, and it comes off the back of that top.
Le trae coraje a Dani por el what's going on. Puede ser, ¿eh? O sea, no están ni cerca de las rondas, güey. Literal, la primera ronda, güey, mataron a uno, güey, pues ni los mataron, güey, lo tiró Powers, güey, pero no están parejas, las rondas.
They've been hugely aggressive. You can almost say eUnited doesn't respect Rebel at all. And go back to that last round where TJ pushed straight up the middle and got a massive 2-piece. He doesn't do that because he's scared. He does that because he has no fear. He doesn't think anybody is on his level or can match that slay power. Case in point, TJ pushes up. Now this time he will be finished off. So things are looking good or better than they ever have.
¿Qué pedo con mi carnal, güey? Anda. No. Ah, la verga, güey. ¿Qué pedo que pasa en la cámara de Powers y de repente está matando a todos, güey? No. Ah. Lo veo difícil para Rebel cómo está jugando Powers, que pueda ganar si le están peleando enfrente. Tienen que jugar más inteligente que él. Sí pueden, todavía pueden, tienen mucho tiempo. Pero no sé cómo esté Rebel ahí, dándose esos calls, güey. Tienen que jugar más inteligente las ejecución. No creo que le ganen en control. Tiene que ganar esta ejecución para ganar, güey.
They're going to go into that torque post trap. They're trying to slow things down. Early shot grenade onto the sniper, so that way they have the
¡Oh, la verga!
taking out TJ.
¡A la verga! ¡Qué poco no es Arcu, cabrón!
For Rebel, depending on how they play their cards. Flash from Powers. He's bouncing around. 2v1. He almost gets the elimination, but finally shut down. So a 4v3 turned into a 4v2, which is slowly going to be
¡No mames!
3v2 and a
No.
2v2 at that.
¡No! 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 ¿Qué pedo? Nah, eso es troll, güey, de Rebel, güey. O sea, se rifó de más, güey. Lo hizo bien. Pero, güey, Rebel no puede hacer eso, güey. No, güey, no. Se rifó de más, güey, pero Rebel no puede. Ya vale verga, güey, ya. Yo siento que ya vale verga este mapa. El match, quién sabe, güey. Quién sabe si pueden dar regain, güey. Pero después de esto se tiltearon. Los de Rebel se tiltean por ese tipo de cosas. No puedes dejar que pase eso, güey. O sea, más si estás dando comeback y más si ya tienes 2 kills, güey. Pick preferido. No sé qué pasó ahí, güey. No creo que haya sido malo que Exploit agarró el sniper, güey. Solo que... no sé.
Colin just has to teach me his tricks, bro. I just need a Colin cheat sheet.
Esas rondas tiltean, sí. O sea, tiltean, güey, pero tienes que saber...
No, he doesn't know where anybody's at.
No, no sabe dónde está. ¡A la verga! ¡A la verga! No mames. Tiene que ganar el 1v de todos modos. ¡No! ¡No! ¿Qué pedo? ¿Qué pedo? No.
Okay, I'll take that though. That is a replay that I do want to see. Demise with that 3. I don't need to see. That shot was nasty, but exploits. You're going against your ex teammate and you don't want to style on him?
Dis contra Pig, güey, Pig no.
I'm disappointed as well.
I'm kind of disappointed.
No, güey.
I'm really disappointed. That was the top play. That was it. That was the play of the day.
3-round given away to eUnited. Must-win situation for Rebel to kind of chop down the score lead. Powers trying to bait somebody in to go for it.
No sé qué pedo, güey. Estuvo raro eso, güey. O sea, Pig Floyd salvó una cagadota, güey, de su equipo, güey. Y después, no sé. Sí, no sé. No sé por qué no le jugó verguero a Diz, güey. Tenía que haber jugado verguero. Estuvo bueno, güey. O sea, estuvo buena esa ronda, güey, para nosotros como espectadores, pero estuvo rara, güey. En el sentido competitivo estuvo rara. Pero pues, sacamos la ronda, güey, qué pedo, bien rápido. ¡A la verga! ¡A la verga! ¡A la verga, Pig, güey! ¿Qué está pasando? ¿2v1? ¿Dis? ¿Dis? Ah, acá sí, güey. ¿Se le apagó el control? Pig se está rifando, güey. Pig está jugando bien. Y lo único que no tiene que hacer es que, güey, eUnited siempre ha sido así, güey. Si Power se rifa, güey, eUnited casi siempre gana, güey. Pero pues obviamente cuando Power no se rifa, güey, es cuando empiezan a verse los errores, ¿sabes? Si no le regalen tanto espectáculo a Power, güey, pueden ganar, güey. Pero les digo, siguen peleando, güey. Una de estas Powers otra vez va a matar a... ¡A la verga! ¡A la verga! ¡A la verga, Pig, güey! Le está valiendo verga, ¿eh? Le está valiendo verga a Pig, güey. ¡A la verga, güey! Le dio lo P, güey. Pig se está pasando de verga, güey.
We'll see this next round. We'll see this. Whoever wins mid room in this round wins the round.
All right, fair enough.
Erga, güey. 4-4, ¿eh? 4-4.
Consecutive rounds. Try to play down low. Get the torque bow in the hands of Demon. Maybe eUnited will follow it as well after losing 3 straight rounds. Looking at the mini map. Nope. Same as usual.
Hicieron una play ahora. Estuvo bien, güey.
Power exploits with the shock powers, doing what teach. Oh, already a down though. But either way,
No.
Ident is back up into play. Dyslexic though, getting that first blood. Now Ident.
Nadie le está ayudando a Dani. Le van a dar cross ahorita.
For the time being, because he knows Dyslexic is going to close the gap. He's out. He's dipping. He's gone. But he can't go anywhere, and he's going to be dropped.
Estuvo bien fea la play de esos güeyes.
They need to get that torque bow out and stay alive. Unfortunately enough, they switched up the strategy and just lost players left and right. And I kind of said it. I thought Rebel was going to be.
No sé por qué cambiaron las strat, güey. Si Pique estaba haciendo los cagadas ahí, güey. Lleva 2 rondas seguidas haciendo los cagadas ahí, güey. No sé por qué cambiaron las strat. Ahí es cuando debe decir Pique, güey. Aguanten, güey. Lo estoy haciendo cagada, güey. Déjenme hacer lo mismo, güey. Ahí hicieron lo mismo, pero no sé, a ver si sale. No puede pasar. No mames. Dani, da reset, da reset. ¡Ah, la verga, Dimais! Güey, ¿qué pedo con Rebel, güey? ¿Por qué Dimais está llegando ahí, güey? Nah, crack, no te puede hacer eso, güey. No puede pasar eso, güey. ¡Oh! ¡Oh, la verga! ¿Qué está pasando, güey? ¡Qué buen match! ¡A la verga! No mames. No, güey, qué pedo con eso, güey. Ya le había dado con el sniper y le dio otro putazo. Nah. ¿Qué estoy viendo, güey? Powers terminó con esa haciéndolo como se lo playó, güey, literal. Se viene el 3-0, güey, está parejo los mapas están parejísimos, güey. No, es que porque pusieron que Rebe vale 1-1, güey. Voy rápido por mi agua, bros, que dejé ahí. Y pues nada, ahorita los veo, bros, el tercer mapa. Hey, Kido, buenas, de eso. Muchísimas gracias por ese Prime, Kido, muchísimas gracias, bros. Muchísimas gracias. Se aprecia mucho, pero Kido, y bienvenido a la Disocrew, bro. Y bros, para todos los que no saben, estoy rifando un control para mis suscriptores. A los 100 suscriptores voy a rifar un control, bros. De hecho les voy a poner el link. Double, papi, muchas gracias por el Prime. Muchas gracias a todos, bros. Muchas gracias a todos los que están en el stream. Y muchas gracias por las subs. Muchas gracias. No sé pronunciar tu nombre, Toy. No sé pronunciar tu nombre, bro, pero muchísimas gracias. Aquí está mi tweet, bros. Voy a estar rifando este control para mis suscriptores, o lo voy a rifar. ¿Qué pedo? Nah. Bueno, no sé por qué no me aparece ahí. Pero es este control, bros. Este control es el que voy a rifar. Para los que sean subs. Ya somos 53. Cuando seamos 100 suscriptores es cuando lo voy a rifar. Somos 53. Déjame cambio el comando, güey. Porque está... rifa, aquí está. Déjame cambio el link de Twitter. Porque no sé por qué no abre el de... Nadie puede, papito. ¿Ese es tu secreto? Ahí está. Ahí está el tweet. Ahí está el tweet, bros. Ahí está. Not sí, papi, muchísimas gracias por esa sub. Muchísimas gracias, bros. Muchísimas gracias. Muchísimas gracias por el Prime. También los Prime cuentan, todas las suscripciones cuentan como para la rifa. Y muchísimas gracias, bros. Muchísimas gracias. ¿Cuándo lo rifarás? Cuando lleguemos a los 100 suscriptores, bro. Somos 54 en este momento. Que lo firme el Rábano también. Jalo, jalo, jalo que lo rife mi pan. Aunque mi pana River tiene una firma medio culera, no nos va a mentir. ¿Cuánto ganó United? Va ganando 2-0, bro. Todavía no termina. Déjame los cambio. Voy a cambiar el comando también en eso de subs. No está bien ese. Somos 54. Ahora sí el comando está bien. Ya jugaron ustedes, ya. Nosotros ya jugamos, bros. Ganamos nuestro match. Ahí está. Voy rápido por agua, bros.
Yeah, you can just kind of see it moment by moment, including this where Demise just gets the 3-piece, turning a sure round loss into a victory. Don't worry, exploits got him back. But overall, losing the round like this, man, it just goes to show, like I said, after map number 1, those inconsistencies, they just continue. And I'm just waiting for that big moment, because I believe there will be a big moment sooner or later. I don't know, where Rebel just begins to click.
Big boy, dyslexic. IGL, at least he claims. I have to get confirmation. I'm gonna actually reach out to him, like, you IGL? But and you also said, language barrier, things like that. Clearly not. Like, dyslexic is doing one hell of a job. Powers is just a loose cannon at this point. I mean, he is just popping off. And I think he felt, because the DNA now of eUnited, it seems just in-your-face aggression. You mentioned how that benefits the meta. By the way, this play, rest in peace, Demon. Jeez, I can't believe Powers got... That was after a big body shot, too. Like, Powers was just not slowing down.
Powers has done take over games for eUnited.
Es training grounds, güey.
This E-Days for P-United.
Training grounds.
I don't like that.
Merch idea, I get 5%, Powers
That's terrible.
Si gana, tiene que ganar Training Ground, Rebel 100%, y creo que puede dar Reverse Sweep, pero no, depende de cómo estén las vibes. Ey, Insolence. Papi, muchísimas gracias por la suscripción. Insolence, muchísimas gracias. El tren de hype, nunca había visto eso, güey, qué pedo. Muchísimas gracias a todos por las suscripciones, bros. Muchísimas gracias, ya somos 55. Es el pedo de Rebel, güey. Que si no se tiltean, güey. Si no se tiltean, pueden, güey. Pero todo depende de lo que pase, güey. ¿Saben?
Look, check it out. I don't know if it's even happening. Rebels coming back in this series. They're going into training grounds and
what do they need to do?
Brother, I mean, they just got to shut Powers down, like straight up. Powers is having a field day. Because you can see represented in that tomb with the way that Demise was pushing, TJ was pushing, Powers was pushing. Like, they're not slowing down. And they're not slowing down because they're not theoretically, quote unquote, from reflections, if you want to use it, they're not being challenged by Rebel in the slaying department. They just don't respect them. They really don't. eUnited.
It seems like.
It does. They feel unstoppable. They really.
Muchas gracias por la sub, John. Por el follow.
So I think eUnited is just going to fly a Rebel. Now, Rebel.
A la otra predicción, ok. Sí, cierto.
Way slow things down. And try to slow things down. If they can somehow isolate Powers and not go head to head like they've been doing, could benefit them. Because after all, Rebel and that slaying power that we hyped up, and rightly so, it's not really been there. Let's be fair. It's not really been there. And again, I harken back to what I said about Demon. Demon's not really been a crazy player tonight.
I gotta agree with you there. And luckily Powers is playing well because Dyslexic is not having kind of the slaying powerhouse games that he's kind of used to having. But then again, at the same time, there's only X amount of kills on the map. And if
la conexión hace mucha diferencia. Pues depende si tienes una muy mala conexión, sí hace la diferencia, bro.
Team of Rebel, I just think they've always been one step behind a lot of what United is doing as a whole, even though that is coming
Vamos a ver qué pedo.
Powers in his slaying powerhouse, but they need to figure out a way to think 2 steps ahead now.
All right, thinking 2 steps ahead. Well, we'll find out. Identis
¿Hicieron una play?
Big brain going for the flank.
Oh, ¿hizo a play?
And a great opening, it seems, for Rebel, depending if Powers and Dyslexic don't have anything to say about it. Crack is going to find at least a drop onto one. That's going to be Powers now bleeding out. Dyslexic's going to be pressured up top.
Siento que Diz juega muy bien este mapa, güey, en escalada. Veamos qué pedo.
He gets shut down. You see the overextension for the home mill. TJ's a little late to react. I'm gonna say, Exploit, what are you doing? You just go, don't even waste any time. Missed shots by Crack, shocks and flashes over the top. Powers, right place, right time. Now Identiv is going to be seeing two players kind of chase him down. Number one, Powers is gonna go down quick. TJ with the revive. It's all about that bait and switch where Powers finds himself as the last man standing in that situation.
Dani traía esa kill, pero no sé, no me gustó. Vamos a caer, Pink. Si te caes es una tragedia, gracias. ¿Dis? ¿Contra Demon? ¿Dis, Demon? ¿Fue con Demon? ¿Dónde fue?
But we do start seeing United waking up a bit, getting their hands on the neutral, now finally capping it. First time they're going to have the 2-to-1 hill advantage in at least map number, or round number 1, I should say. Demise hiding in the shadows. I think he's been spotted. You do see Rebel there eventually.
Lo derribó Powers de arriba, güey. Es que de esa posición es fácil hacer eso.
Meanwhile, TJ, he's going to be reactive or proactive instead of reactive. He's going to go ahead and
es que Dimo no está jugando, no sé, Dimo está jugando un poco mal, si les soy sincero. Pero pasa, ¿saben? O sea, pasa. Pero tiene que aguantar más. Si no estás dando tus tiros, tienes que esperar a que tu equipo se rife, güey. Esta ronda es muy importante para Rebel, güey. Literal, toda la ronda 2 veces la tenían para ganar y setearse bien y no hicieron ninguna de las dos, güey. Ni la ganaron, güey, ni se setearon, güey.
That's a scary thing, isn't it? To push into the Lancer Fire of eUnited, or Lancer Fire of anyone for that matter. It makes life a little bit more difficult. One thing is for certain, though, this Rebel retake has to happen. It looks as if they're going to the overextension, but already
Dani tiene que esperar, le va a hacer OP. No.
No one there to help him is tough, but even so, the silver lining is Demon did find a way
no sé, tienen que matar a Power, si no Power es un desmadre. Dani mató uno, estuvo bien, tiene B, Dani tiene B, tiene que ganar esto 100% que ganan con uno. Nomás tiene que aguantar. Okay. Demon tenía que aguantar tantito más ese 1v. Creo que ganan con... No sé quién gana, güey. Creo que gana... Sí gana Rebel. Rebel por un punto, güey, wow. Wow, güey. Por un punto. ¿Qué pedo?
Rebel. I had to see it. I had to stop there for a second. I got scared. Even though we both were unanimous in agreeing, I got scared. Anything could happen in the WWF.
Yeah. Oh, it 100% can, man. It 100% can. And we've sometimes, oftentimes, you know, called out a team's going to win, and then they ultimately lose. It just kind of happens. Now, I did bring into the conversation that you have Exploits on one end and you have Dyslexic on the other, both from the same roster of Noble, who are very
Diego,
also coined the kind of new strategy.
Esta ronda la gana Rebel.
In hell. And I'm curious, with Dyslexic being the IGL for eUnited, do they kind of coin that same strategy that they had when Dyslexic was...
¿Tú ya jugaste de eso?
Still yet to be seen.
Ya, nosotros ya jugamos nuestro primer match, güey, ganamos.
You know, it's still very early on, but we'll find out. Now, Identiv's this time around doesn't look to be going on the flank, or does he? Actually, yeah, he's going to be going on the flank once again. Now, does eUnited
otra vez
call this
flanqueó.
out? Well, let's find out.
Quisieron hacer la misma play.
Does not give Identiv's time. So he kind of just chooses a different flank to go after. He's going to go flank that neutral hill. You see Demise spotted out, which means...
A la verga, qué putazote.
2 hills to 1 for a short moment, but it's actually not going to even be the case. Powers overextends home hill to home hill, while the remaining 3 members are going to continue to fight in an advantage. That's going to be a 3v2 advantage. Demon's trying to at least get a trade to come through, but he gets shut down. Crack's gonna get taken out. Triple Gap domination sounds off, and he knows nobody is close enough, but actually they are.
¿Por qué se dio por vencido, güey?
Without a fight, he actually gets downed out for that moment. Crack gets shut down by Dyslexic on that.
Sí llegaban, güey.
This one's gonna continue, but for how long? Is Identiv is gonna be the next person to fall. Demon has the world on his shoulders here, trying to battle back through a smoke, even trying to get the reset. He's only gonna get a trade. This one's gonna go on.
Diego, que para mí estás tú en la partida de ellos, güey, por eso estás diciéndolo, mi bro. Pero si vuelves a decir otra cosa, chance y te baneo un rato, ¿eh? Porque andamos disfrutándolo aquí.
eUnited also has Dyslexic, who's peppering this. Yeah, it's over. Wow, TJ holding his ground, 10 toes down, giving the victory to eUnited.
gripping them toes to the ground, making sure he's just an unmovable object. Looking at the damage though, 6,000 each. Demise is only 4.
Increíble, digo. Los de Tebasteca siempre les vale verga, güey.
Beginning of the game, so there's not a lot of damage to go around for him. On the other side though, I will say for Rebel, 1-1, shutting down Powers in the sense of he's not making those massive plays like he did on maps number 1 and 2. You have to continue that trend.
There's a sniper. Right, there's that sniper I talked about.
Va a dar un timing a Diego nada más, ¿no? Un timing, papi, un timing. No un ban, güey, un timing, güey. Para que te sientes, güey, y lo veas tú también y lo disfrutes, carnal, al chile. O sea, que queremos ver cómo está pasando aquí, bros, ¿sabes? No por otra cosa. Pusieron sniper en mid. ¿Y por qué crack se murió? Le dio de arriba.
That's going to be damage there. Identives immediately gets the down to clean up on 2 players. Almost gets that headshot onto Demise, who's going to try to reposition here. You know, somebody's under him as well. As they're totally trying to insert themselves into the.
Bueno, ¿qué está haciendo Rebel, bros? No están yendo ni home, no están haciendo. Gracias, güey. Están tardando mucho, güey. Me estoy envergando.
It's literally only 1 point separating the two, and Rebel is going to be able to get the neutral, and I think Crack might be able to get away here, especially with exploits being where he currently is. Nice shot onto Dyslexic, caught slipping, staring off into really the nothingness, and Exploits takes the advantage, take his head off. 3 more shots remaining, and Rebel is
Exploits está rifando,
downing that of Powers, and Rebel's not letting go of the gas. Look, all gas, no brakes.
Está rifando Exploits con ese sniper.
And I think they're going to get it.
We talked about how dangerous Exploits can be with the sniper. Not gonna get headshot.
Le dio el otro, papi.
Doing the same thing, big damage, making it easy for your
MVP, ¿eh? MVP esta ronda.
Up, Rebel wins their second round. It goes up 2-1 over eUnited, and already I know it's only been 1 round, but the sniper really making that difference in the hands of Exploits, the new addition of the roster.
New addition, and I think greatly welcomed. You asked me the question of, are they missing summons? And I think so. I think they really are, but Exploits bring so much value with the power weapons that's something that is incredibly special about him in general, and it's just fun to watch. He really is, and again, that's
el Pix siempre será una verga con sniper. La neta, el Pix se rifa con sniper, güey.
Obviously, I kind of misspoke. I think it was actually Rebel who placed that, so my apologies. But Rebel knew what they were doing, and they knew the power that they have with exploits.
Damn, está bueno. Me está gustando lo que estoy viendo, güey. Rebel, les digo, puede ganar todavía la serie, güey. Depende de cómo estén sus ánimos en esos momentos, güey. Pero si ganan este mapa, güey, los otros no los veo tan imposibles, güey. Speyer lo juegan bien, güey. Y pues en ejecución, güey, 50-50, güey. Y le están regalando aparte de Sniper a Pig, güey. Eso está muy raro, güey. No sé por qué Crack está saltando, güey. Van 2 veces que matan a Crack igualito, güey. 2 veces, güey.
They're forced them to make a play, and honestly, we see it all the time in everyday sports. You know what I mean? You give up that 3-point shot because you want to force them to make a play, and that's exactly what they're doing. With 2 hills to 1, eUnited slowly gathering up this lead, and if
le están regalando a la verga. Es que no le pueden regalar el sniper a Pig, güey. Está muy raro esa play de United. Parece que nunca han jugado esa pelea.
Could be. Dyslexic, nice shot, gets the finish. He also avoids the shot from Exploit, so good job on him. United still with the 2-1. Now this is in a way identical to the last round, but you know in the last round Rebel was able to get the neutral when it was still tied up, only 1 point separating the two.
Pero tampoco se la volaron y tampoco hicieron nada. Tienen que meter a B. No, pero nomás se tienen que meter a B, güey. No tienen arriba, la de arriba no les puede dar. A la verga, Pig, güey. Pix está pasando de verga, güey. Tienen que capear, güey. ¿Qué está pasando? Güey. ¿Por qué se fue Dani a mid, güey? ¿Qué está pasando, güey? Nah, güey, están jugando bien horrible esta ronda de Rebel, güey. Dani se murió, güey. No sé qué pedo, bros. No sé por qué. No sé, nomás se tienen que meter a capear a B. Nadie les podía dar porque Pick tiene sniper. Yo no están haciendo nada. ¿Qué está pasando, bros? Le están regalando la ronda, literal. Va a ganar eUnited, güey. O sea, por el tiempo, güey. ¿Ya? Los de Rebel, ve. Eso lo tenían que haber hecho desde hace un chingo de tiempo, güey. No sé qué pedo, güey. No sé qué pedo con esa ronda. Literal, esa ronda se la regalaron a eUnited, bros. O sea, ni lo intentaron, güey. Si lo intentas y te matan, güey, pues dices, ah, bueno, pero no sé. No sé cuál fue el call ahí, güey. Pico Powers con el sniper, eso. Yo siento que Pick es mucho más consistente, güey. Y Powers es como de, si está rifando, güey, se va a pasar de verga, ¿sabes? Pero a veces no se rifa. Y como que Pick siempre saca un headshot y así.
And so much resources trying to get the neutral, and they got the neutral, but after that, what else did they do? Well, really nothing. They just stayed on the right side, protecting the neutral. Meanwhile, they were getting, they were still losing right hill advantage because eUnited had the.
Pick había rifado, Pick sacó como 3 o 2 kills ahí. Le están regalando el. Le están regalando el sniper, güey. Pero tampoco, no sé por qué Pick está yendo ahí todas las rondas, güey. O sea, literal se lo están regalando, güey, ¿qué pedo? Oh, pensé que se la volaba, güey. Oh, la verga. Sube, papi, sube, o haz algo ahí. Ahí no vas a hacer nada, nunca se te va a asomar y tienen capeado. Tienen que empezar a hacer plays, güey.
Once again, eUnited prioritizing the objective, trying to hold on to it as long as they can. Exploits taking a low side. Opposite of Powers, this is a risky push. Now, Demon does join into the mix, and Demon will take him down. And great shot and a good compliment to also get TJ out of the way. That's going to be the neutral, surely going to the way of Rebel. And there it is, locked in place. Exploits.
No sé si es trica, ve, ya se pasa una tragedia. Sí, no. Se podía hacer trick up si el de Home, ¿quién es el Home? Crack, lo hubiera metido en presión mucho antes, güey. Vale, Homes. A la verga, ahora su lancer de Crack. No, ¿por qué están corriendo? Ah, fueron los 4 de eUnited. Y uno usa mid. Wow, qué raro. Va a tener sniper, creo. ¿Quién es el de mid? No sé, estuvo rara la rotación. No había visto que fueron los 4, güey. Always known for when Exploits on that roster was their ability to just snub as quickly as possible, and Exploits brings that value to the Rebel roster. Definitely it's just a talented, strong player in general. I don't think anybody ever doubted that. Güey, ¿por qué crees que está así, güey? ¿Por qué crees que está así? They've got the objective, and eUnited doesn't have the manpower, and this should be Rebel once again taking the lead, 3-2.
Yeah, there's only one player alive, and Demise is the one this late in the game.
Estas rondas tan raras, güey, pero Rebel lo está ganando, así es que no importa tanto.
And I gotta say, this is all coming in way of not really utilizing the sniper, in which we've seen Exploits kind of go ham with it before.
Es un truco, o sea, no se puede hacer ese truco, güey, pero no, Chance lo hizo sin querer, güey. ¿Qué pedo, mi Buda? ¿Cómo estás?
Yeah, I think Exploits, again, he's a huge threat.
Chance lo hizo sin querer, güey. Pero eso no se puede hacer. Sí sé que es un truco, pero no se puede hacer. Chance lo hizo sin querer, pero según no se puede.
Exploits with the sniper is a huge factor. He gets incredibly strong, and for TJ, he was kind of tempting at a torque bow or an M-bar up for that E heal, and I think it honestly wouldn't be a bad play. And the reason why is because Exploit's going to continue to go for the sniper, whereas eUnited has been fairly comfortable in getting the neutral. That could almost be a free power weapon going to the way of eUnited and the objective every single round, because Exploits isn't going to give up that sniper again. So they're going to put presence there, but ultimately they go the normal.
¿Por qué no se puede? Porque pues es un efecto visual, güey. ¿Sabes? Cambias el juego, güey. Exploits está rifando, güey.
What pressure Exploit says? What pressure as he takes down down
A la verga, dice esa cagada, Dani.
heats up on the other side of things, almost looking like he might get a little bit over aggressive there because Crack has turned at a moment's
¿Qué pasó,
notice.
Miss, güey?
Put a crossfire on to make Demon's life easier, but he doesn't even look that direction. Demon goes down.
Nadie tiene sniper, ¿no?
Fantastic
Un punto bueno
from eUnited. Not
de todo
only
lo
get
malo
the
para
elimination,
Rebel, güey.
they kept the sniper out of the hands of Exploits.
Nosotros ya jugamos, Buda, ya jugamos, bro. Ah, no sé si tiene sniper, güey, TJ, güey. Wow.
Doesn't miss that one. Takes down Exploits, giving him a taste of his own medicine. And that's going to pump the brakes for Identives, who can't really push up. And even if he did and avoid the sniper, he still has to worry about eUnited. Matter of fact, eUnited's not going to slow down. And look at TJ immediately taking
Esa ronda se ve bien horrible para...
Nice shot to shut down Demon, and just another body shot onto Crack. Demise is waiting.
Qué ronda tan castrosa para Rebel, güey. Es muy difícil hacer algo ahí.
And they can't even move forward. Headshot finally going to connect from TJ, just really funneling them down into the corner, unable to move. Dyslexic with the flank, triple cap domination. Somebody right in front of him. That is Identives, and he body blocks him to keep him out of the hill as eUnited answer back round after.
Según yo, Exploit tenía el sniper también, bro. Si de repente no sé qué pasó, había matado a uno. Y le sacaron 2v1, creo que TJ y Mid. No lo pasaron, pero creo que le sacó 2v1 TJ. Ya GG no, todavía no es GG, bro. Todavía puede pasar alguna cosa rara. Los de Fury One les tengo... Acaba de postear Yalet que ganaron 1-0 a Fahrenheit, Ah, bueno, les ganaron a Fahrenheit. No sé si 1-0, pero les ganaron. Ese match no lo pasaron tampoco. Ya activa el Windows, pa. No sé, tengo que activar el Windows, güey. Sí es cierto, güey. A la verga. Exploit está rifando, güey. Dani tiene que aguantar el Wami contra Diz. 2v1 y se setean. El Wami de Home también no sé por qué llegó hasta allí. No. ¿Cómo verga mata de Demise a Crack allá, güey? Lo mató hasta Home, güey. Literal lo puso de lado a lado a Crack, güey. Esas kills son muy castrosas, güey, en escalada.
Already the two hills though going over to eUnited, going for that triple cap domination. Does look like Demon's gonna get in the hill, keep this one going.
Inga, tu 3-0, Ya escucharon mis carnales, güey, que ganaron 3-0.
That neutral where B used to be. There's no weapon over there either, so there's no reason to go down, but Demise does anyway. There goes TJ trying to make the play. It's actually going to be Dyslexic to save his life. He has to turn around, leave him on his own to try to save the positioning on the hill. But two players from Rebel will continue to press forward. They're trying to get control of this hill back because they have a deficit to overcome. With that elimination, that's going to give them 2-1.
Esa ronda es muy importante para Rebel, bro, 100%.
Yeah, but as player 4 rotates over for the neutral, I thought player 8, Demise, was going to push up
a ver qué
home
putazotes.
hill of United, but he actually forgoes that to isolate player 4, take him down, and they'll let player 6, Dyslexic, once again try to get Demon out of here.
No tiene 2v1.
Demise joins into the mix, but
Es que, güey, los de Rebel están jugando dos peleas a la vez, güey. ¿Saben? Todo el tiempo, como que están haciendo todo el tiempo algo diferente, güey. Por eso no le está saliendo las cosas bien, güey. O sea, como clean. A la verga.
Emphasis to get here on the neutral hill and Exploits instant out. That's going to pin up Powers. Great shots on
No,
Demise.
¿cómo perdieron eso, güey? Y Pana Crack no le ha dado un pellet, güey, por lo que estoy viendo, Esa pelea no la tenían que haber perdido, güey. En la cámara de Exploit se veía normal, güey. Pero creo que Crack no.
That's going to be a surprising one. Great job and heads up play by Dyslexic. One sniper left in the chamber from Exploits. He has to figure out a way to make this one count because this is a 3v2 on
Exploits debe estar medio envergado, por lo que está pasando. Crack tiene que ganar este 1v.
He takes out one. The sniper will stay alive in the hands of Powers as Demise is just trying to buy time. You see the rotation in your minimap.
A la verga. Ahí está Powers. Este que me preguntaba quién era mejor, Powers o Exploits, güey. Los dos se rifan, güey. Exploit está rifando, güey. Literal, Exploit está rifando por su equipo bien cabrón, güey. Necesita ayuda, güey. Necesitamos que Crack gane una pelea, güey.
So that's what I was talking about, but he finally dies off, so that's good.
Crack.
But if Exploits would have got away with that sniper, this in-game could have went a lot differently, and it still can because Rebel has the lead. But 3 members down, make that 4, and eUnited takes it right back despite Rebel.
Ya perdieron esta ronda, güey, lo más seguro.
It looks like eUnited, they've got it in the bag.
Ah, esa ronda era importante, güey. La neta Crack se pasó de verga esta ronda, güey. Tenía que rifarse, güey. Una, güey. Tuvimos como 4 oportunidades de rifarse y no se rifó. ¡Oh! ¡Big Fluid! ¿Qué está pasando, güey? Ya perdieron, ahí fue. Big Floyd necesita ayuda, ¿eh? Big se está rifando, güey. Está ganando peleas. Un chingo de peleas, pero su equipo como que no se sale, güey. Está pasando cosas raras, güey, en los matches. Muchas cosas a la vez. Y eso no le conviene a Rebel, güey.
Doing an excellent job. We've seen different looks from them. We've seen them, forego and give the the sniper away. Now they're starting to challenge it. Dyslexic, most damage done. We've been waiting for him to rear his head. He's kind of been being outshined by Powers. That's not a bad thing though.
O sea, no es por tirarle como. No es como por tirarle cagada a Crack ni nada, bro. No estamos comentando lo que está pasando en el mapa, güey. Obviamente Crack tiene mapas donde se pasa de verga, también se rifa y todo, güey. A veces pasa, pero siento que cuando pasa mucho así, tiene que aguantar, güey. O sea, no, porque está haciendo muchas plays y no le está saliendo ni una, güey. No mames. No mames. A la verga, Dani. No sé qué pasó, güey, pero estuvo feo para la Rebel porque no tiene nada de posición, ni arma ni posición.
Gets to neutral and eUnited with the 2-1 hill advantage. You also got the sniper out of Exploit's hands. Things are looking solid. Now you just got to defend against this push from Rebel, and it's coming quickly. Demise and Dyslexic are going to be the first ones over here. Powers will get the ensign, but he is going to be on the opposite end. Maybe he can throw one up in the air and maybe get a connection. You do have a couple players from Rebel who's going to be on the overlook position. He cracked nice shot.
Crack, sí. ¡Oh! Me gusta, papi, me gusta. Todavía tiene tiempo para dar regain, Crack, ¿eh? Tiene tiempo, bros. Esa doble estuvo loca, güey.
Really, they're just the best in the world. It's amazing to watch these guys play sometimes.
A la verga, pensé que lo volaba con esa reaction, güey. No mames. Qué buena play, güey. Verga, está bien pálido para Crack allá. Crack tiene que aguantar, no se tiene que morir, güey. Nada más aguantar. Por lo que estoy viendo, creo que ya ganó eUnited, güey, lo más seguro, güey. Esta ronda está muy difícil para Rebel.
United back with the 2-1. One round away from defeating Rebel in a pretty dominant fashion 3-0 victory. United's playstyle being aggressive definitely fits, and you can
es el último push de Rebel, bros. Caían los dos, GG's. Ah, ¿no fue por los kills? Y lo tiran a Dimo. GG's, bro, ya ganó. ¿Cuál es el próximo match? ¿El que sigue? ¿Cuál es el último match del día, bro? ¿Alguien me puede confirmar?
As Demise is going to get down, nobody's able to clean him up just yet as Identus goes down as well. I'd love to say the team kill coming through, but that's just to show that that 3-0 in which you spoke about is definitely true. eUnited show up here to play and take the series.
Yes, sir, they do. First victory for eUnited in Split 2 with their new roster. Of course, Dyslexic being in there with Demise, Powers, and TJ. Standout day for Powers. That man played so incredibly well in the first 2 maps. He had his time.